Jason, overall, how did you feel today's oral arguments went? What was your impression?
I feel much better today than I did last night. The justices asked the right questions. We got to, is this a tax on income or a transaction? We got to the fact the voters have already rejected 6 constitutional amendments to allow a graduate income tax. And we got to the fact that every other country, state, and tax professional in the world will tell you this is an income tax. So the fact that was all in the conversation, the justices were involved, and again, they asked the right questions. So does that mean that the ruling is going to come out the way we want? Well, that's what we have to wait and see, but feeling much better now than I did last night.
What do you see is at stake here?
Well, at stake here is nothing less than, will Washington State have a graduate income tax? That's really all this is about. Do we own our income or not? And for 100 years, the court has said we own our income. For 100 years, the voters have said we want to keep owning our income and rejected 6 constitutional amendments. But income tax advocates are nothing but not tireless on this and said, well, maybe if we pass a new tax that we know will get us before the justices by judicial fiat, they'll do what the voters won't. Well, they got their hearing today. Now we need to see, will the justices comply, or will they say that, no, we agree with everybody before us. Income's property, you own it, and if you're going to do this, you need a constitutional amendment.
If it is upheld as constitutional, do you feel like it's limited to the over 250,000 gain?
So nobody in the United States pays a federal income tax unless they're a millionaire, right? Because that's what we were promised when it was passed. What happens with taxes, once they are in, the bases expand and the rates increase. And even before today's hearing, lawmakers have already introduced a bill to not only increase the capital gains tax rate, but to repeal the exemptions that would apply to everybody. So we don't have to guess what they're going to do. We already know what they'll do if this is upheld. But the big thing was not just capital gains. The big thing is all income. That's what they're hoping the justices will open the door for. We just have to see now.
Can you identify yourself and your title for the camera?
Jason Mercier, Government Reform Director for the Washington Policy Center.